push the world.
We're just passing through.
Just passing through. You look like you lost to me, don't that, fellas?
Hey, you know, it might be an awful good We don't want any trouble.
Well, I'm telling you, unless I don't know what goes on up and down this here block, and I do, you're in for plenty of trouble. Is that right, boys?
Yeah. Prove it.
The end. The end. The end. The end. The end. The end.
California, here it comes, right back where it started from. Oh yes, this is the end. This is the living end, kids. Oh, and the joint is really going to rock tonight. It's going to rock. Open up and roll this bass. California, 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 California. Here it comes.
So we've got all these kind of damaged good, kind of trippy, arty people coming out here into Los Angeles before it was going to become the music mecca that it did. They're all kind of arriving here at the same time. They're young people that seem to get to travel a lot more than I ever did as a kid. We read that all these guys, they're down in Guam or El Salvador, and next somebody's in Haiti. And I mean, all of these people are crisscrossing the country, going into third world countries, et cetera. And yet, they're in their late teens, early 20s. They finally wind up in Laurel Canyon before it's blown up into this music mecca. How they all decided to come out here at the same time is an unusual thing. And perhaps, I've played in bands, and certainly there's places that you'll want to go at different times. It seemed like there's about to be a scene there. And so that's a possibility. But at the time, LA wasn't really a rock and roll place, and rock and roll hadn't really begun to have the prominent place that, listen, you had the Beatles and the Stones in the UK. But in America, this was still a new thing. And yet these people all came out here around the same time.
Yeah, it came together with a remarkable speed, and there was no logical reason. I have a quote in the book from Neil Young saying, "We don't really know why we headed out. We just, the Pied Piper was calling," or some such thing, And they came out from Canada, from like Toronto, quite a few of them. The guys from Steppenwolf and Neil Young, and one of his bandmates in Buffalo Springfield, and who else was up there? I think Joni Mitchell was originally up in Canada, and the Mamas and the Papas were like down in St. Thomas in the Caribbean or something, like completely cut off from the rest of, and you had these people just all over the place who just all of a sudden decided, hey, we need to go to Laurel Canyon of all places. And people look now and they say, well, of course they came out here. This is where all the record companies are. This is where all the clubs are. This is where the live music. But what they don't understand is they didn't come here because of that. They actually created that.
Right.
They are the reason. I mean, they arrived, and next thing you know, clubs are popping up along Sunset Boulevard like mushrooms, out of nowhere. You got the Whiskey and the Roxy and the Kaleidoscope and
Ciro's.
just all Ciro's and London Fog and all kinds of ones that are long forgotten now. Pandora's Box and I don't even, just on and on and on. Vito Litos and.
See, very unusual, very interesting because Billy Jack pre-Rafelson, Nicholson, all these people, pre them was trying to break through to the film industry without going through the major film distributing companies. Because not only did MGM make the films, they owned the studios. This was the major film industry. And if you weren't part of that, you really had a tough time. Unless you got some breakthrough like Dr. No from Rank Films or very, very seldom could you get a film distributed. You could get it made with your own money and your angels and your investors, but you could not get it shown because the studios control it. So along comes these young bucks, Jack Nicholson, Peter Fonda, Dennis Hopper, Martin Scorsese. I did an interview for a book called Easy Rider, Raging Bull,
Right.
About this. And it was about the fact that these young bucks came up and they were trying to bump against this major film studio industry. And if you weren't part of it, it was really, really tough.
Well, Bert Schneider, the exec on the Monkees, was packing serious heat because his father owned Columbia Pictures.
So that helped.
Right.
What is it you have learned?
Make hay while the sun shines.
This box is right now composes our universe, but...
This is a light attack jet aircraft. Whose primary mission is the delivery of bombs and rockets against ground targets. Basically, that's it.
Well, it's not my dress. It's my Playtex Cross Your Heart bra.
Oh, how quaint.
Our universes only start from the inside of our head and go out in all different directions in any direction till infinity.
You have a strange language, little one.
Me?
Mother! I'm coming!
I think I'm going to die from it.
Brainwash them, and they'll brainwash the world!
Wait a minute, Jack. Hold on a minute. Stop the show. Look, this brainwashing bit has got completely out of hand. You know, look, I'm Brian Auger and this is Julie Driscoll. And we don't want any more of this sort of brainwashing business. What we want is complete and total freedom. Complete and total freedom. Now, do you realize what that means?
Yeah. Utter bloody shambles.
Who are